One of the most contentious scientists in history, Fritz Haber, was born in Breslau, now Wrocław, Poland, on December 9, 1868. His innovations in agriculture and industry saved billions from famine. He also caused much agony in World War I chemical warfare. This dual legacy shows how science, morality, and duty interact. Haber's experience illustrates the challenges of scientific advancement and innovation's ethical implications. Number 5. The Haber-Bosch process, sustaining global food supply. Why was the Haber-Bosch process considered a groundbreaking achievement in chemistry and agriculture? Early in the 20th century, mankind faced an existential crisis. Natural nitrogen supplies, vital for plant growth, were under strain from the growing world population. Nitrogen is abundant in the atmosphere, but plants cannot directly absorb its stable, inert form N2. Insufficient nitrogen might limit food production from meeting expanding population demands, threatening starvation. Fritz Haber's solution was innovative. In 1909, he created a method to produce ammonia, NH3, by reacting atmospheric nitrogen N2 with hydrogen H2 under high pressure and temperature using a catalyst. Chemically, the Haber process is groundbreaking. Carl Bosch designed large-scale ammonia manufacturing equipment and infrastructure to industrialize this process. They developed the Haber-Bosch technique, which transformed agriculture. Large-scale nitrogen-based fertilizer production increased crop yields and ushered in a new agricultural age. The Haber-Bosch process has an enduring impact. Currently, this technology provides fertilizers that feed almost half the world. The method has prevented widespread hunger and helped grow the world population from 1.6 billion in 1900 to over 8 billion now. Haber received the 1918 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his ammonia production research. This result demonstrated science's ability to address global issues and improve human life. Number 4. Chemical warfare, a dark chapter. Despite his life-saving contributions to agriculture, Fritz Haber is also renowned for his part in inventing chemical weapons during World War I. A passionate German patriot, Haber thought that science should assist the state, especially in times of war. His nationalism and conviction in Germany's superiority compelled him to use his scientific acumen in warfare. Haber's participation in chemical warfare begins with his attempts to create chlorine gas as a weapon. Chlorine gas is a highly reactive and poisonous agent that assaults the respiratory system, resulting in asphyxiation and mortality. On April 22, 1915, during the Second Battle of Ypres, the German army used chlorine gas against Allied soldiers, signifying the first extensive application of chemical weapons in contemporary conflict. The repercussions were severe. Numerous troops and civilians had agonizing deaths, while survivors often faced enduring health issues. The psychological effects of chemical warfare were significant, instilling an unprecedented degree of dread and terror on the battlefield. Haber justified his conduct, contending that chemical weapons were as humanitarian as other military methods, and that their deployment might expedite the conflict and ultimately save lives. Nonetheless, his participation in chemical warfare ignited extensive ethical discussions and denunciation. Numerous individuals saw his activity as a transgression of humanitarian ideals and an exploitation of scientific knowledge. Haber's work in chemical warfare greatly influenced his personal life. His wife, Clara Immerwahr, was a scientist and a pacifist who opposed his role in the production of poison gas. She regarded his work as a breach of the ethical norms of science and as a method of contributing to human misery. In a terrible act of protest, Clara killed her own life soon after the Ypres attack, apparently using Haber's service gun. Her death was a significant personal sorrow for Haber nonetheless. It did not dissuade him from continuing in his wartime endeavors. Number 3. A disputed heritage. What was Zyklon B, and how did its connection to Haber's research tarnish his legacy? Fritz Haber's legacy is characterized by significant paradoxes. On one side, his efforts in agriculture changed food production and saved billions of lives. Conversely, his involvement in chemical warfare resulted in significant suffering and fatalities. This dual legacy exemplifies the ambivalent nature of scientific advancement, as discoveries can serve both constructive and destructive purposes. Events following Haber's demise exacerbated the ethical dilemmas associated with his work. His study led to the repurposing of a pesticide, Zyklon B, for use in Nazi concentration camps during the Holocaust. Nazi concentration camps used this gas to exterminate millions of Jews and other marginalized groups, including numerous individuals of Haber's Jewish descent. While Haber did not actively participate in the adaptation of Zyklon B for genocidal applications, the connection has tarnished his image further. Number 2. Exile and concluding years. Subsequent to World War I, Haber's existence saw another calamitous shift. The loss of Germany in the war and the severe stipulations of the Treaty of Versailles resulted in economic and political upheaval for the country. Haber endeavored to aid Germany's recovery by developing a method to extract gold from salt water, with the aim of assisting the nation in fulfilling its war reparations. Nonetheless, this idea eventually proved unsuccessful. In 1933, the ascendance of the Nazi dictatorship disrupted Haber's life once again. Notwithstanding his conversion to Christianity and significant contributions to Germany, his Jewish heritage rendered him a target of Nazi anti-Semitic policies. Nazi anti-Semitic policies forced him to resign from his esteemed positions, including his directorship at the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Physical Chemistry and Electrochemistry. Banished from the nation he had ardently served, Haber sought asylum overseas. He accepted an invitation to establish a research institute in Mandatory Palestine, aspiring to rejuvenate his career and contribute to the scientific community in that region. Unfortunately, he did not live to witness the realization of this vision. Haber's health deteriorated during his journey, and he died of heart failure on January 29, 1934, in Basel, Switzerland. Number 1. Legacy: a double-edged sword. The life and work of Fritz Haber underscore the significant power and responsibility inherent in scientific discovery. His advancements in ammonia synthesis transformed agriculture and prevented billions from starvation, altering the global food supply. His involvement in chemical warfare and the subsequent use of his research for mass murder show how science can do a lot of harm when it is carried out without proper morals, ethical dilemmas intrinsic to scientific advancement. His existence compels us to grapple with the intricacies of innovation, wherein the identical knowledge that has the potential to preserve life can equally be utilized as a means of destruction. His dual legacy emphasizes the necessity of directing scientific progress with ethical considerations for the enhancement of humanity. In the end, Fritz Haber represents both the apex and the depths of human creativity through his contributions. His narrative prompts us to contemplate the ethical intricacies of science and the decisions we undertake in using information. Although his contributions to agriculture support billions, his involvement in chemical warfare exemplifies the repercussions of placing nationalistic objectives above ethical principles. Fritz Haber's life is a tribute to both the strength of human invention and the moral issues it poses, a legacy of tremendous repercussions, both heroic and terrible. His narrative pushes us to guarantee that science supports humanity's greatest goals, reminding us that development, although necessary, must always be balanced by compassion and accountability. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.